Hey, today I got something super cool that I want to show you guys. This thing is really handy. It does multiple things. It's really lightweight, super compact. You can take it with you anywhere. And best of all, it's super cheap. It's only a few bucks. So let's get into a little bit of what this thing does. So wouldn't it be nice to have something that can sharpen your hooks? Have you ever bought some hooks and straight out of the pack they just didn't feel that sharp? I definitely have. And also when you're out there on the lake or the river, and you're reeling in your pole, you've snagged into trees, you're pulling in logs, you're hitting all kinds of stuff while you're trying to catch the fish with your hook points, and they get dull. So you realize that and you think, well, alright, it's time to change out hooks. So now you have to cut, you have to retie, and you losing a hook. So it would be cool just to be able to just leave it on there. It's still good, other than it needs sharpened up, and you can do that right on the lake with this thing. So let me show you how to do that real quick. So sharpening the hooks is super simple. Right here you have this stone here that has 3 different size lines, and it's the gap of them is bigger or smaller. So what you want to do is put your hook in there and figure out which size gap is right for you. Now this is a really big hook and it is the last gap here. All you do is you start here at the top with your hook. You just apply a little bit of pressure and just pull it down it. Now that kind of sounds like chalk or scratching your nails on a chalkboard type thing. But you'll get used to it and your hooks are going to be sharp. So it takes maybe about 6 or 7 swipes at this and your hook points are really sharp. And this thing is super sharp. It's sticking me. So, and these hooks out of the pack, these are the Gamakatsu Big Cat hooks. This is a 12-aught hook. If you guys have used these before, you know that out of the pack, these aren't the sharpest hooks, but that one right there literally just wanted to stick after I sharpened it. So this thing sharpens up your hooks very good. Okay, so the next thing that this does is if you are a catfisherman, you are probably using cut bait. And if you're not, you're missing out. You really need to be using cut bait. But back to the subject, if you're using cut bait, that means you probably have a knife specifically that you use for cut bait. I have for years now. The problem is when I'm out there fishing, I'm usually fishing pretty late, and I realize sometimes my knives are getting dull. Well, when I get home, it's so late that I just take a shower and I go to bed, and then I get up the next day and I forget all about that knife that's getting dull. I get out there again on the next trip and I'm realizing, well, this knife's getting dull again. And after repeating that process for several times, my knife isn't really cutting the bait anymore, and it's so dull that it's really hard to sharpen, and I'm just not that good with the sharpening stone to get it back sharp again, so I have to buy another knife. Well, this thing right here, like I said, is super lightweight, compact, and it comes with you, and you can sharpen your knives up with it right there on the spot. As soon as you realize you're cutting into this bait and you realize that it's getting dull, well, guess what? You can sharpen it right there on the spot, and it's going to keep your knife sharp, keep you going, not have to go through knives. Let me show you how to do that. It is super easy. You don't have to have any skill to sharpen this. Like I said, I'm not that good with the stone, and I can sharpen my knives with this. Let's show you how to do that. Now, for sharpening your knives, you absolutely in no way need to be a pro at sharpening a knife at all. This thing does all the work for you. So you have a coarse section and you have a fine section. Now this is kind of going to sound a little loud again, but you'll just pull this through here like so. Do that a few strikes depending on how dull your knife is. And then when you get through and you don't feel it catching, see right there it's catching, I've got a little spot I need to clean up. Once you get run through without it catching, then it's pretty sharp. You're going to come over to the fine area and just run it through there a few times, and your knives are going to be super sharp, and they're going to stay super sharp. There's a bunch of scales and stuff all over that. A little bit disgusting, but it'll be okay. It's going to get some more scales on it. Okay, and the last thing that this does is this is not the make or break thing for this. This is probably like the least on the list. The other 2 things are amazing, but it actually has a line counter, or a line cutter, not a counter. But what's cool about the line cutter is that they got a hole right here. So what you can do is you can run some thread through this, run some string through this, clip it through your backpack, clip it to your tackle box, whatever. So whenever you do break off at the lake, you have to come to your tackle box or your tackle bag to get your hook, sinker, swivel, leader line, all that stuff that you need. Well, this thing is right there with it, so you can get your leader line, cut it. You can take all your tag ends right there where you're at the bag, run it down through here and cut it. So I'll show you guys how awesome this thing cuts. Basically, say you got some leader line that you want to cut off or something. You're gonna run it through here. So I can do this without making a bunch of noise right here. Alright, so you run it through there, push back on it, and boom. There you go, leader on. This 50-pound mono is pretty tough stuff. and it cuts through it pretty nice. It cuts through it better than actually my knife does. So it's pretty handy for that too, if you want to use it for that. So I really hope that you like this thing. If you get one of these, leave in the comments after you get one and let me know what you think about it. Guys, these things is super handy. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I can't wait to see you guys back out on the water.